So I've defended Just Stop Oil in the past, and I will continue to defend them in the future if necessary. But this latest tactic from them is beyond stupid. No pride in new oil and gas. Today, queer supporters of Just Stop Oil have been in negotiations with the organisers of Pride in London, demanding Pride returns to its protest roots and empowers queer people to stand in civil resistance against their genocidal government. We gave Pride a deadline of 5 p.m. today to respond to our demand that they take a stance against new oil and gas licences. More info coming soon. Okay, well, I obviously agree that there shouldn't be any sponsorships of Pride. And yeah, it should return to the grassroots. Of course, Pride is being exploited by rainbow capitalism, which is being used for marketing purposes. Just like how Dylan Mulvaney made one TikTok video of a personalized Bud Light can with a face on it. Now, it wasn't a whole range or whole line of Bud Light beers with a whole face, no contrary to what so many people think. It was one specific can made for her. And she revealed that Bud Light hadn't reached out to her in support after basically being hung out to dry. However, ordinary people go to Pride marches, and it's very real for them. So the problem isn't calling out sponsorships. The problem is that JSO are making demands with deadlines. Here's the full statement. It was great to meet you today, to have the time to listen and share with each other. As a follow-up for you to take to the board of directors, these are Just Stop Oil's demands of Pride. 1. Clarity on where Pride sources its money from, what floats are included, and what ethical considerations are taken when deciding who to accept money from. 2. Pride makes a statement to demand an end to new oil and gas. 3. Pride to set up a public meeting for its volunteers and joining in civil resistance against new oil and gas, and why the climate crisis is the biggest threat to LGBT plus due to social collapse. We will wait 24 hours as of 4 p.m. today for Pride to respond to our demands and the actions Pride will take. Beyond this time or not meeting these demands will mean we may or may not take action at this weekend's events. Look forward to hearing from you soon. The absolute cheek of JSO making demands at Pride and then clearly threatening to disrupt the event. There are hundreds of thousands of people who are marching on behalf of the LGBTQ community, and the absolute goal for JSO to disrupt the event is wrong. Those that are marching don't decide the sponsorships. It's not their fault, yet they are being punished. At least when JSO disrupt traffic, the cars themselves cause pollution, so I can kind of see the logic in that. But this, JSO look like a bunch of psyops right now. Now, Deputy Leader of the Green Party, Zach Polansky, eviscerated Sadiq Khan at a mayor meeting in regards to the corporate sponsorships of Pride, where Khan, being the mayor, will have a level of power to it. JSO should be protesting him, but they're not. This is divisive. We need multiple movements to come together to enact change because power in numbers, right? Instead, they're pissing off a huge amount of people who should be working together. Now, the LGBTQ community have got enough on their plate fighting against right-wing bigots. As you can see, there are homophobic protests at Pride. They show up pretty much every year. Now you add on top a threat to disrupt the event. I'm sure there are so many who take solace in Pride, being together with others who face the same discrimination. You could say it's a safe space for them. Now, trying to understand the mindset of JSO, they probably think, well, we don't have time to care about optics. The climate catastrophe is urgent. And I agree to an extent, which is why I'm not particularly opposed to their road tactics, because yeah, it's urgent. However, there's also no point of acting urgently when you're completely ineffective. Typically, marginalized groups also stand in solidarity with other marginalized groups. They stand up for justice, and that will include climate change. So you're disrupting people who probably already agree with JSO, so you want them on your side. But instead, they're making an enemy out of them. Movements need to be coordinated, not infiltrated and disrupted. That's what the police do. Now, it is a bit of a conspiracy to say that there are psyops. I'm not being completely serious about that. But I am serious that some of these organisers at JSO are plain stupid.